Hey, how's it going? It's Dan from the Brewed for Life podcast. I am re-recording this episode because we had an issue with what I posted yesterday. I don't know what was going on, but the sound quality was absolutely atrocious, and it was kind of upsetting me. So we're just going to re-record the episode and go about business as usual, and I appreciate your patience. I was going to post yesterday a whole rant about the tariffs and all of this other stuff, but I'm gonna pull that back a little bit because who the hell knows what's going on with this? This tariff thing is a roller coaster ride, and honestly, I don't think it's worth any of our time sweating it because the media is spinning this shit in 50 million different directions and saying this and saying that and whatever else. And then this morning I read an article from Stu Leonard, and he was saying that the tariffs only really affect about 4% of his business. The tequila companies already have plenty of stock in the U.S. to be able to ride this thing out, so there won't be any price increase there. I don't know. I don't know what to believe of too much of this stuff. And so don't let it affect your day-to-day. Just say, fuck it. If you don't want to pay the little bit of extra of whatever it is that you're looking for, then don't. There's other options. Like, are the California avocados as good as the ones that come out of Mexico? I don't think so personally, but can we eat them to get by just for a little while? I think we can. So outside of that, I posted this morning in my story a little bit about frustrations with work, and we'll see what comes of that for today. But apparently, I've had my struggles since I came on board with this company. When I first got hired, it took 3 weeks for them to get my pay squared away, which was a little frustrating. And then on top of that, I've had my own frustrations with the communication levels within the company from all sorts of places. From conversations with my direct boss, with conversations with some of the buyers, with conversations with HR, and I'm not really sure what the issue is, okay? So, for example, I had posed a question to HR about taxes because New York is not like Massachusetts, and the office that I am associated with, the Connecticut office, doesn't actually have a physical location. So, with that said, that means I am still an employee of the New York office. Now, my check was getting taxed for Connecticut and New York, and I was paying both sick time to Connecticut and New York. And I asked about it because the first year I was with the company, I only worked a few months, so I wasn't too worried about it. But this past year, it seems like my fucking taxes are way out of whack. I owe thousands of dollars, which I have never owed ever in my life. And I reached out and called. Didn't get an answer, got a voicemail, waited a little while, shot an email, and still got no response. It took them 2 weeks to get back to me. And then she called me at like 6:45 with an explanation that, again, didn't clear it up. So the whole tax thing is frustrating. Like, you are the HR department. How do you not know what should be going on and what shouldn't be going on and what we should be getting taxed at and what we shouldn't be and where we should be, as far as our tax ramifications as an employee of the company. I do understand that, like, we all have our own choice of how much we want deducted for our check for taxes, and I always have had my check at taxed at a single rate, which is the highest rate that you could have your paycheck taxed, because I didn't want any surprises at the end of the year. So I'm not sure what's happening. And then she said, well, somebody made an adjustment to your taxes last year this time. I go, I haven't touched anything since I got hired. So in a year and a half, or just about a year and a half, or a little over a year and a half, I haven't touched my tax situation, but somebody went in and made an adjustment. Who the fuck did that? She had no answer. There was no login or anything associated with it, or if there was, she didn't tell me because it could have been her that did it and fucked it up. So there's that. And then the other thing that's really been bothering me is that, like, I like to keep a paper trail of everything. So I always send an email, but nobody responds to emails because nobody wants there to be a paper trail of what was said and what wasn't said. But I found out that of all the reports I get on a regular basis, I get one on my sales, I get one on what stores I sold, I get one on credits, and I get one on tonnage of how much weight I've moved through the week. But the ones I'm missing that are the most important ones are my statements when it pertains to commission, and it breaks down my sales and what my commission is and where I stand with my commission and my return rate and how much that is being held against me and whatever else. So it's an actual breakdown of where all of the gross profit dollars that I generate for the company go and how that relates to my commission. So there's that report, and then there's a report that tells you how you ended up at the end of the week. So I get none of these reports. And I asked about it on Wednesday, and the response back I got on Wednesday was that I'll follow up with you tomorrow, or let's discuss tomorrow. So I waited until about mid-afternoon. I heard nothing. I shot him an email and said, hey, these are the reports that I need. And I heard nothing back, and now it is 9:30 on Friday morning, and of course I have heard nothing back. How do you operate as a company when your communication sucks? And I'm honestly very frustrated by a lot of it because I shouldn't have had all of these issues moving forward with a company in the first year and a half. You know, the payroll thing was one thing, but like I wasn't getting reports for a while, and like my basic reports, and like, come on, what are we doing? And when I asked my direct boss about it, he goes, oh, well, you're going to have to talk to the vice president about that. You're my fucking boss. That's your job. You are my manager. When I come to you with an issue, it is your job to go ahead and get me an answer to those issues. I shouldn't have to go to your boss and step over you to get that answer. You're supposed to be doing that. So, needless to say, over the last few weeks, I have gotten a lot of attention on my LinkedIn account where a lot of people have reached out to me offering me jobs or saying, hey, you know, like, we really like your background and in your experience level. Would you be willing to have talk about an opportunity or whatever? And I'm 100% on board with that because I really do believe that, and I made this mistake already in my life, I really do believe that you should always keep your door open. It doesn't matter if you're happy with where you're at or not or whatever, you're scared to make a move. When you don't explore an opportunity, whether you take it or not, you are leaving yourself in a stale position. Now, if nothing else comes from an opportunity, if you're frustrated and pissed off or whatever at your job, and another opportunity doesn't change your frustration level, but it's going to increase your salary by like 10 grand a year or more, you should probably make a move. Because although your frustrations in both places might be the same, maybe job 2 gives you more of an opportunity to grow as an individual and more of an opportunity to get promoted than job number 1. So make sure you do your background, look into the companies, look at these people that are reaching out to you, and do your due diligence to find out whether or not it is actually a valid opportunity for you. Now, like I said, just because you're exploring an opportunity doesn't mean that you're willing to make a move. Now, the only reason why I made the move to this company is because I was unhappy with where I was at. There was no room for me to grow, and this company gave me an opportunity to at least make more money and be home more often. So those were key things to why I made the move. Now, I want to make more money. I want an understanding of what my expectations are. I want an understanding of exactly how does my commission program work, because nobody's explained that to me either. I want a company that when I reach out to HR with a question, that they actually get back to you in a timely manner, not in 2 weeks. And the only reason why I got an answer back in 2 weeks is because I had to go to the vice president to make that happen. That's ridiculous. I want to work for a company where everybody has their job and they do their job. I don't want to work for a company anymore or any longer than I have to, where one person is the vice president of sales, the vice president of procurement, he's in charge of HR, he's in charge of accounting. You come to him when there's issues with transportation or the warehouse. Like, don't we have managers for these individual departments? And the funny part is that they don't want you talking to these people. Why? Why do you want to shut the communication down? That just tells me that one individual is power hungry and is a micromanager. And micromanagement does nothing but do what this company has had in the year and a half, which is a hell of a lot of turnover. Sales reps have come, sales reps have gone. Sales managers have come, sales managers have gone. All in a year and a half, I've probably seen 6 people come and go. Maybe 8. That's crazy. Those are just the ones I know about. That's not including what's going on with the drivers or the warehouse or whatever else. The turnover rate at this company is ridiculous. Now, I will say that the owner has called me every single week for the last 4 weeks just to check in to see how things are going, because I got handed some accounts from one of the sales reps who only dealt with the Asian accounts because she spoke fluent Chinese and was able to communicate easily with these accounts, and they moved them to me. And I obviously don't speak Chinese, but he wants to check in and make sure that business has kind of stayed the same or whatever. And for the most part, I've increased business in these accounts, even though there's that language barrier, which is kudos to me. But still, all these other negatives, they're just not sitting well with me. And so I am exploring these other opportunities. One of them with a major supplier that deals with mostly restaurants and some stores and delis and other facilities. And they reached out to me, and it was because I've been a little bit more active on LinkedIn with responding to some other posts and adding my thoughts and reposting some things. And I updated my resume and updated the verbiage that went with my account and all of those things. And he reached out to me and he said, hey, I saw your comment and I checked out your profile and we really like your experience. Would you be open to an opportunity? And I said, yeah, sure. I'll listen to what you have to say. And he goes, well, when do you think you could jump on a call with me? And my immediate response to him was, well, if you're generally in the area that I live, would you be willing to, sit down and just have a cup of coffee? We could talk about, whatever it is that, you're looking at and why you think I would be a good fit to come on board and work with you guys. And I think that's something that is probably going to put me in a position where that discussion that I have, because it's going to be on Monday, that's something that's going to put me ahead, because I'm willing to bet that it's another sales position, and that shows that I am willing to do more face-to-face stuff and see, so he could see how comfortable I am with conversation and selling, not just who I am and my background and the things that I can do well, but also see that I'm comfortable with meeting new people and being able to articulate an intelligent conversation as it pertains to business. So that's happening on Monday, and I'm actually kind of excited about it because of how high my frustration levels are with the company that I currently work for. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with all of that, but the lesson is that opportunity knocks. Like one of my other good friends, he took an IT job and he's got an extensive background in intelligence, and he has worked on his cyber side of things, and he moved and got a job, and since then he's had multiple opportunities thrown at him. And it's just by doing the same things that I have done, which is keep your LinkedIn profile updated, make sure that your resume is updated. I don't get too much into the gearing your resume to what the job is, because that piece of paper only does so much for you. If you can't speak intelligently and if you can't articulate your words and be able to show your skill set and the value that you bring to a potential new job, that piece of paper doesn't mean anything. Because a lot of business is communication. A lot of every job deals with communicating with other people, working with teams, being able to direct people, being able to articulate things, being able to discuss in a professional, I don't want to say smart manner, but like in a way that when you talk to somebody, they can tell that you really have a grasp of what it is that you're either selling, talking about, promoting, whatever the case may be. And that's important. Those are skills that can't be taught. Those are skills that you learn over time. Yes, you can use trigger words to increase your selling and whatever else. But the thing that I have found is that the most important part of being in sales is understanding your customers, being able to build a relationship with your customers, and help them grow their business. So you help them grow their business as an outside employee. And by that I mean you go in, you use all your intelligence, you use all of your items that you have behind you to show somebody how these things can grow their business, or how if you merchandise it this way, the exposure of these items or jump out in front of your customer, which means a growth in sales. Those are things that only somebody who has experience can do. Those are things that only somebody with experience can actually promote and sell to a potential customer. And those are important things, because no matter what you do, there is always some level of sales, right? So if you're in marketing and you're all sitting at a table and trying to develop ideas for somebody's item, you're honestly selling your idea to the team and hope that the team buys into it. Selling is in every aspect. Financial guys are selling you the idea of where you should invest your money. Obviously, when you go and you buy things, there's somebody trying to sell you all these other things. Trying to get somebody to believe in your opinion and whatever it is that you're putting in front of somebody, all of it is selling. Life is selling. So if you don't think that you have the skills to be able to be a salesperson, you do. It's just, do you have the personal skills to be able to connect with your customer? That's the important part of it. And I think that's why I have been successful with increasing sales with current customers and being able to develop new customers and be able to grow their business with them, is because to me, it's not just about selling. You're building a relationship. These people need to trust that you're going to do the right thing by them, which that means making sure that you notify them when product's available, make sure you're giving them the best price you could give them, making sure that you're honest about which way the market's going so that they don't get blindsided. Those are all things that help build your relationship and build a level of trust. You just have to want to do it. It's not just about being a used car salesman and saying, I got a fantastic car for you. It's got new tires, it's got this, it got that, until you start it and it's got a monster exhaust leak. The valves are ticking, and as soon as you get down the road, the engine blows up. Like, great, you made a sale, but you pissed somebody off, and now that person's not coming back, and that person is also going to tell at least 6 of his friends. Now you single-handedly killed your business. See, do you understand the concept? Are you seeing the things that differentiate a good salesperson from a bad salesperson? And I got to tell you, like, some of the accounts I took over, I know the company's high on that salesperson, but every single one of the accounts I've taken was, they don't call me back, they don't tell me when stuff's out of stock, they don't let me know what the price is. I call them and they say they'll call me right back, and then they don't. That's not good salesperson behavior. You have to build a relationship. It's about relationships. So please take the time to think about that when as you go through your day. It's not about just selling your opinion and selling what it is that you're trying to sell or whatever. It's about making a connection with the person that you're delivering this stuff to. It's about getting them to understand where you're coming from and you understanding where they're coming from. And in the middle is where that deal is made. No matter what it is. Like I said, if you're selling your advertising idea, you're selling a car, you're selling groceries, you're a salesperson like me and you're selling products to other people, it's all about building that relationship. Relationships are important. They will remember when you were good to them. They will absolutely remember when you fucked them over. When you told them you had something and then you didn't deliver. That will sour a relationship. And it will take 3 times longer to repair that sourness than it did to build the relationship to begin with. Every aspect of life has it. And if you think that it's not there, then you're only lying to yourself. Please, don't sell yourself short. Be honest, be genuine, be all of those things, and growth will come in every aspect of your life. Apply yourself. Don't be scared. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, as long as you're willing to be genuine, be honest, be willing to push yourself outside of your comfort zone, and be true to your word. As always, check out all the social media platforms, the 3 accounts on Instagram, Baines Brewing, Brewed for Life Podcast, and now the Dad Son Network, or Dad Son Community. Very, very important platforms. Jump on, check them out. On all of them, all of them, there is links for the Raise the Standard apparel. Please check that stuff out. Phenomenal apparel, great message. If you're struggling or have struggled or have had battled some things in your life and you've come out the other side standing tall, this is a company for you to be checking out. Apparel that is fucking phenomenal. It's incredibly comfortable, and I'm really happy to have partnered with them. Check out the YouTube page. Lots of good videos and stuff up on there. And I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you real soon.